I'm Madison Dean.
I'm Yvonne Bien. I'm Savannah Sievertson.
Reed Ross.
So we just took a quiz on, it was supposed to test our knowledge of race and human variation. And number one, did we all get number one right? No,
I
we
did not.
Okay. So what did skin color tell you about a person? It says it indicates his or her race. It provides information about his or her cultural heritage. It offers insight into his or her predisposition to disease, or D, none of the above. The correct answer was D, none of the above, but you guys put A, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which indicates his or her race. What do you guys think about, like, you guys got that wrong? Do you see how you got that wrong?
Yeah, I was debating between A and none of the above,
Mhm.
but I just picked the wrong one.
Yeah, same here. Okay. Number two, the origins of modern humans can be traced back to Africa by studying DNA. And true, false, or not sure. And it was true, which is pretty interesting.
Nothing really controversial about that.
Yeah.
No.
The actual patterns of DNA variation in humans show that African populations contain nearly all the common DNA variants found in Asians and Europeans, plus novel variants that are not found in either European or Asians. And then none of the DNA, or only a few of the DNA. And it was nearly all, just because you don't realize that you're all really, really, really close, because we look all so different, but
Yeah, it's just
our
a couple.
DNA is just like one or two things are different, and then that makes us look completely different, which is pretty crazy.
We all come from a common stock.
Yeah.
It's just the differences in location has
Mhm.
produced differences in variation.
That's why it was so interesting in that video about how like their self-worth was so like what am I trying to say? Like
Influence.
yeah, like
Right.
influenced by like how they look and stuff. And it's funny because like if you looked at like someone's DNA, there's nothing that can trace back to it. So
Mhm.
it's interesting how like our outside appearance
Determines
determines so
much.
differently
Yeah.
than like our biological differences and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty confusing.
Which are the questions that stood out to you guys?
Which ones did you guys get wrong?
The only one that I got wrong from this point that wasn't that I just didn't know the answer was number 9. The ultimate source of all human genetic variation is mutations in DNA sequences. I thought it was natural selection.
Yeah. No. Well, natural selection kind of comes from mutations in the DNA, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because the DNA actually changes itself. It mutates to make you a healthier person or whatever, make you better.
But what causes the mutations in the DNA? Like you were saying, it to make you a healthier person. What's the stimulus behind that? Is it because of geographical location?
Could be
Diet.
just survival of the fittest, just whatever makes you a better species to survive.
So wouldn't
not
that
die.
then be natural selection?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be natural. So that's why I was like, natural selection kind of mutates the DNA to make us whatever they influence each other.
Yeah. Is there anything else that stood out to you in the video that we watched?
We just thought, I mean, it's just really crazy that their self-worth came from their hair and their skin color, how dark they were, because the darker you are as a black person, the more judged you are and the more they feel bad about themselves,
And I
like
thought
they
it was-
are a bad person.
I thought it was interesting that even the black kids didn't want the black doll.
Even the kids that are like less than 5 years old were already influenced by their skin color.
Like they saw it as being bad
Mhm.
to be black
Mhm.
and good to be white.
Yeah, that's all they've heard about themselves.
It actually really reminds me, again, kind of a bit kind of annoying sometimes, but I was really close to a family And then the mom was telling her daughters that they should go marry white guys because that'll do better stuff for their genes and better stuff for their children. So it's really interesting to see that, like, because you can watch anything from a movie, but it's really interesting to see it on my own, see how that works and how it correlates across.
How true it actually is. How they really do feel that way. It's just really sad. There's nothing different.
Yes.